Hi everyone. Sorry I had a little rant yesterday concerning getting another pussycat. Fortunately, I found a decent rescue concern. No names or anything, it wouldn't be fair, that looked into my plight and is prepared to provide me, when one turns up, with a pussycat, which I was hoping to get, one which, okay, is not a kitten, an older cat, one which is possibly the previous owners died or gone into hospital, something like that. And they're looking out one, so it looks like I may get another pussycat. At the end of the day, it has made me think, what happens if I do kick the bucket? But I understand this organisation will probably take this into account. So, hopefully things will be okay. Because I know I'm not getting any younger. Some mornings I feel like I'm on death's doorstep, but not to worry. So hopefully things will be okay. It was just unpleasant the way I was told yesterday. I was more or less treated as over the hill, not valuable to help out. So that's how I felt, and that's how I was very annoyed. Anyhow, enough of that. As I say, when I get the pussycat, I'll put a picture up of him or her. So we'll just wait and see. But at least something is happening, and I feel bloody sight better than I did yesterday. Anyhow, let's get back to having a look at these telephones. As I say, I've got quite a few phones, and I'm just slowly going through various ones. This one I picked up, I think, a few years ago. I'm showing the underside of it first, because as I say, I've only got one pair of hands, difficult to change over. This phone was actually supplied, it looks like it was applied to the French PTT. It's obviously made by a company called GCT, as the label appears on there. Manufactured, I think, by FASI Standard. Well, having said that, let's turn him back over and have a little look. On the actual cover, it's identical to the 500 type as used in America, and it was obviously based on that particular phone. There's some information there. Fabrication, FASI Standard, Milan, Italy. So it's come from Italy. The handset is ITT. Whether ITT or under, there's so many mergers and takeovers and things have changed. I thought Standard was a branch of what's known in England as Standard Telephones and Cables. In Germany, it's Standard Telephone Lorenz. But that name is certainly well known. And they did in England at one time have their name on a telephone for private use, 332, and they had the name Standard. So, as I say, you take your money and take your choice. Anyway, let's turn this back over and have a little look. I'm trying to make my talkies a little bit more interesting. I know I can probably sound a bit boring at times. This is a rather interesting phone because this one uses something that you'd see in American phones. It has a network. There's your network there. FASI Standard again. It's sort of a typical thing that you would see in an American phone. The handset, as I say, has got the transmitter is the American type transmitter, and the receiver is very similar to the ones made by STC that were used over here. I haven't taken them out. They're a bit fiddly to get back in there. A hell of a job to replace that plastic cover. So we'll not look at that again. Here we have obviously the bell. Very well made one. Don't know what the ohmage is. It's got no, I can't see any ohmage. It might be, what's that say? The bell too is made by Fassi standard. Whether one of those is the actual ohmage, it probably is. Without testing it with a meter, it's possibly 1,000 ohms. But that is more or less all I can show you, as all the other bits are inside the network box. It clearly indicates on there what each termination is. You've got line 1 and on the other side line 2. So it is clearly laid out. And it's a very neat phone actually. And it looks to me like this was supplied to the French authorities. There's the dial, and I think you'll find that is a normal French configuration of numbers and, well, obviously the numbers are the same, but the actual letters. So I'm 100% sure this was supplied to France. Turning the dial over, it's all plasticky. No name on the dial. Well, it might be a name under that cover, which I'm not going to take off. We've got a number there, 7205, 72. Whether that's the year, it may be the year. 3rd month, 72, could be. Very, very similar to the American type of dial. Not identical, but certainly similar. Very basically made, does the job in plastic, and it still works, so it's obviously not a bad design. Anyhow, that is the dial. What else is there? Oh, the bell is obviously adjusted with a lever at the side there. I don't quite know it. I think it does. Oh, what it does, it simply turns the bell, that gong around, so that would reduce the sound or make the sound louder. So that's one way of doing it. The cords are all clipped in, which is quite good. And yeah, that is it. And I say the line cord is got 4 colours: brown, blue, white and red. Presumably it's just using the brown and red. The cord itself has got, what's it got written on there? Something written on there. Fassi. 75, so that's either 73. No, I don't know, that's 75 or 73. But it's got Fassi again, which is the name you see. The other cords down there. So, yeah, that is more or less I've got to say about this phone. Had it a while. Supplied, I believe, for the French administration. Made in Italy. There's no diagram with it, so there's no way of, well, say, it doesn't really need a diagram. You've got all your terminations and things on the actual network, so it's you don't really need the diagram if it goes wrong. But anyhow, there we are. It's that name again, CGCT. Made by Fassi Standard of Milan, Italy. Thanks for watching. And don't know what I'm going to put up next. Depends what turns up in the cupboard upstairs. Anyhow, thanks again. Sorry again for my moans and groans yesterday. I was not, as they say, a happy bunny. Or shall I say happy pussy? Don't know. Anyhow, I was not happy at the time. I don't like being treated the way I was. And I felt very, very annoyed about that for someone that was willing to help out. But nevertheless, not to worry, that's how things go. So, I'm clearing down now. Any questions, please ask. Someone did in fact ask how to increase my viewing things on YouTube. I don't understand exactly what he means. All right, I know my knowledge on a lot of things on computers is not very good. So if they can explain what they mean, he's saying he can increase my the fact that you get more people seeing it. I just don't know how they do that. So anyhow, that is it. So thanks again. Thank you.